And that, I think, is the weakest part of the entire game. It's almost 20 minutes of just non-stop cutscenes and non-interactivity. I can't move around in this sequence either, and that kind of weirds me out, because in episode 2, there was points, like in the beginning of the Citadel, where you could do, like, your head moved around and everything in these sort of segments, but...
Here we are.
Nah.
The incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completely burned when you threw them down here.
Also, you only threw down her cores,
should be around here
technically.
somewhere. Once you find it, we can start testing, just like old times. There it is. Hold on.
How would that not have fallen through?
Good. You have a dual portal device. There should be a way back to the testing area up ahead.
And then this
Once
also
testing
ends up
starts,
being the
I'm
next
required by
mechanic of
protocol
Portal
to
2 that I
keep
think is kind of a
interaction with you to
problem.
minimum. Luckily,
It just
we
sort
haven't
of
started
boils
testing
down
yet.
to
This will be our only chance to
find the
talk.
wall that
Do
you
you
can
know the
shoot
biggest
portals
lesson I
onto
learned
on all
from
the
what you
surfaces
did?
until you
I
can move
discovered I have a
forward.
sort of black box quick save feature. In the event of a catastrophic failure, the last 2 minutes of my life are preserved for analysis.
And this
I
is
was
just
able-
my biggest
well,
gripe. This
forced
doesn't
labor.
feel
Killing me
challenging. It just
again
feels like
and
I'm
again,
doing
forever.
the same
You know,
thing in
if
every
you've done that
segment.
to somebody else, they might devote their existence to exacting revenge. Luckily, I'm a bigger person than that.
I do like that
I'm
line.
happy to put this all behind us and get back to work. After all, we've got a lot to do, and only 60 more years to do it. More or less. I don't have the actuarial tables in front of me. But the important thing is you're back, with me. And now I'm on to all your little tricks. So there's nothing to stop us from testing for the rest of your life. After that, who knows? I might take up a hobby. Reanimating the dead, maybe.
And that was an entire loaded instance that required this. You see why I'm complaining here, because this is, you know, almost 30 minutes into the game, and now we finally can start
Sorry
doing
about the
tests.
mess. I've really let the place
What was the
go
point of
since
even
you
giving
came
us the
in.
regular
By the
portal
way,
gun in the
thanks for
first
that.
place?
Sarcasm self-test complete.
Oh good, that's back online. I'll start getting everything else working while you perform this first, simple test, which involves deadly lasers and how test subjects react when locked in a room with deadly lasers. Not bad. I forgot how good you are at this. You should pace yourself, though. We have a lot of tests to do.
And you see why this game kind of grinds on me after just playing it for a few minutes. That was literally under 30 seconds after almost about 20 of it being loading screen. And that just drives me nuts,
This next
man.
test involves discouragement redirection cubes. I just finished building them before you had your, well, episode. So now we'll both get to see how they work.
I do love that line
There
here.
should be one in the corner.
Episode. I do like the humor of GLaDOS, because GLaDOS really didn't change. And I think that's why I still enjoy Portal 2, because GLaDOS really didn't change a whole lot. And I think she's such a
Well
pivotal
done.
character
Here come
that
the test results.
they couldn't change much.
You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
You see, I think all of her lines are still in character, I guess. I also really love, well, we all know who I'm probably going to say next, but
Don't let that horrible
You
person
know.
thing discourage you. It's just
this is
a
probably the
data
closest
point.
thing you guys are ever
If
going to
it
come to
makes you
see
feel any
watching me
better,
play a game almost how I
science
do
has
it
now
outside of
validated
this.
Your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
And ba-da-ba-ba. Oh, dicks. That's not how you do this test. There we go. Ugh. I don't feel like the physics in this game. I'm not just gonna completely bash on Portal 2 the entire game, although it certainly sounds like I am right now. I'll point out the good things when I see them, but I generally see a lot of people think this game is just like some sort of perfected masterpiece, and it's really not. It's got a lot of problems. I've even seen people go on record on Steam being like, "Oh, it's like the best game I've ever bought," and I'm like,
Congratulations. Not
really
on the test.
see it.
Most people emerge from suspension terribly undernourished. I want to congratulate you on beating the odds and somehow managing to pack on a few pounds.
I like how this joke doesn't mean anything at all, and it's even referenced later on in the game. I do like that. I just love the line, "Your generousness." I think that's a good joke. I like it.
One moment.
You see, I could crawl through this if this is
I'm
Half-Life.
navigating these test chambers faster than I can build them, so feel free to slow down and do whatever it is you do when you're not destroying this facility.
I do think GLaDOS does have some decent lines. It's kind of hard to mess up GLaDOS as a character, I think. Okay. By and by, I actually really like the addition of the lasers because I think they make for a better gameplay mechanic over the Combine Ball replacements in Half-Life 2, which is essentially what the other ones were.
I'll give you credit. I guess you are listening to me. But for the record, you don't have to go that slowly.
Even the elevators take forever in this game. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but it's just... There was that part in Portal 1 where it was foreshadowing, and it was actually pretty cool, because you got to see what was underneath the facility, that there was other things. I like that, but this game doesn't have that as much, I feel. That's just my opinion, I guess.
This next test involves the Aperture Science Aerial Faceplate. It was part of an initiative to
I
investigate
don't
how
like
well test
these.
subjects
Not
could
because
solve
they're
problems
bad,
when they
it's
were
just...
catapulted into space.
You don't have a
Results
lot of
were
control in
highly
midair,
informative.
which
They could not.
sucks because
Good luck.
I'm used to games like TF2 and Quake, Take a Shot, where every time you're in the air, you have full left and right rotations, and it just
Here's an
seems
interesting
odd.
fact. You're not breathing real air. It's too expensive to pump this far down. We just take carbon dioxide out of a room, freshen it up a little, and pump it back in. So you'll be breathing the same room full of air for the rest of your life. I thought that was interesting.
That's a kind of funny joke, and it also explains how the facility would have air. But that was a test. That was a loading screen. That constituted me waiting, and it's just...
Let's see what the next test is. Oh, advanced aerial faceplates. Well, have fun soaring through the air without a care in the world. I have to go to the
This
wing
joke.
that was made entirely of glass and pick up 15 acres of broken glass. By myself.
I don't get the joke. I don't think that was handled very well, and it doesn't sound like a GLaDOS-y thing. But that's... I don't know, that's just me. This part right here also gets on my nerves. You'll see why in a second.
Oh, sorry. I'm still cleaning out the test chambers. So sometimes there's still trash in them, standing around, smelling and being useless. Try to avoid the garbage hurtling towards you.
Now, this is not how you're supposed to solve the test.
You don't have to test with the garbage. It's garbage.
It's also in Portal
Press the
1.
button
It was in the
again.
advanced maps. If you've never actually played the advanced maps, well, I don't blame you. This was actually used instead of the companion cube, I believe. Different model, obviously, though. But it does work instead of having to wait, because you'll have to wait for the other cube. I don't know what the point of that was, to be fair, and that's not a very hard test.
Remember before when I was talking about smelly garbage standing around being useless? That was a metaphor. I was actually talking about you. And I'm sorry. You didn't react at the time, so I was worried it sailed right over your head, which would have made this apology seem insane. That's why I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
I do like GLaDOS' character arc in the game as well. That's one thing I can praise. I like her mutual friendship with Shell, or Chell, however you
Did you
pronounce
know
it.
that people with guilty consciences are more easily startled by loud noises?
That did get
I'm
me the
sorry.
first
I
time.
don't know why that went
Oh,
off.
like right here.
Anyway, just an interesting... Oh, did I accidentally fizzle that before you could complete the test? I'm sorry. Go ahead and grab another one. Oh, no. I fizzled that one too. Oh well. We have warehouses full of the things. Absolutely worthless. I'm happy to get rid of them.
You see, I don't know why that has to happen in the game. It just does. I don't see why. I guess it's because it was like, oh look, lol, you remember this from the first game. It was so profitable. No, I'm not going to go back for it either.
Every test chamber is equipped with an emancipation grill at its exit, so that test subjects cannot smuggle test objects out of the test area. This one is broken. Don't take anything with you.
Plot twist, it breaks. I mean, you can do that on your own time, but for me, it's not that funny, because this game didn't just come out, and I'm not making YouTube clickbait, basically, so it doesn't really matter to me. I guess.
This next test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told
I like
you
this
about
joke.
them in the last test area that did not have one. Oh no, the turbines again. I have to go. Wait, this next test does require some explanation. Let me give you the fast version. There, if you have any questions, just remember what I said in slow motion. Test on your own recognizance. I'll be right back.
I do like that joke. I believe she does say the exact solution, or something of that nature. If you do slow down that audio file, which is kind of a nice touch.